Good morning. Today we're going to see what is the reason that we say Berachot HaShachar in the morning blessings. Why do we say them? The Mishnah Berurah states, Kol HaBerachot HaElu, all these Berachot HaShachar, the morning blessings that we say every single morning, Hu Mishum, the reason is because Dasur lo la'adam lehenot min ha'olam hazeh beli beracha. A person is not allowed to benefit from this world without first blessing on it. Rabotai, when you open up your eyes, you are benefiting, you're able to see. This is the reason why we say Pokeich Ivrim. When you are able to move your limbs, that's why we say Matir Asurim. Continues the Mishnah Berurah and he states, anybody who enjoys from this world without first blessing, ki'ilu me'al, is as if you are using consecrated property. Rabotai, to put this into perspective, can you imagine yourself walking into the Beit HaMikdash and taking the menorah and using it for your own benefit? Would you ever do that? No, you will not, because that's being disrespectful. Same thing, Rabotai, when it comes for barachot, all the morning barachot or any other barakah, for example, sha'akol or anything else that you're going to do, we have an obligation first to bless and only then to use it. Because if we don't bless, we are misusing consecrated property. Continues the Mishnah Berurah and he says, there are two verses. One says, it's written in the Torah, Rabotai, Hashem ha'aretz u'mela'ah. Everything that's in the land, everything that's inside the earth belongs to Hashem. But then you have another verse that states, V'ha'aretz natan lebnei adam. The earth was given for people to enjoy. Does it make sense? Does the earth belong to Hashem, or does the earth belong to people? The Gemara answers, it says it is not a difficulty. Why? This that we say that the earth belongs to Hashem, that is before you blessed. This that we say that the earth belongs to you, that's after you blessed. Rabotai, look at the language the Mishnah Berurah states. He says, Kodem habracha harei hi laHashem va'asurim lecha kehegdish shehu laHashem. Before the bracha, it belongs to Hashem, and you are forbidden to use it as if it's something consecrated, because it belongs to Hashem. I ask you today, you hear a lot of times people say, this guy is a ganav, he's a thief, he's a dooz. Rabotai, you don't have a bigger thief than the thief that steals from Hashem. When you benefit from this world without first blessing Hashem, you are a thief. You're stealing from Hashem. But after the bracha, once you blessed, hutar hakol lebnei adam. Everything becomes permissible to people. Therefore, Rabotai, our rabbis of blessed memory, they instituted bracha on every single thing. That's what Bezrat Hashem we're going to start seeing in Siman Memvav. Why do we say all the barachot? A person goes to the bathroom, he says the bracha of Asher Yatzar. Why? Because you're benefiting by using the restroom. You're relieving yourself. You feel better. You have an obligation to bless. If you don't bless, you're stealing from Hashem. People don't realize this. People say, I'm a good person in heart. These people steal and they daven and they donate money to the shul. I don't steal. When was the last time you said a bracha? When was the last time you said a bracha on shakol? That's a problem about you are also a thief. Don't look at other people, look at first at yourself. So therefore, Rabotai, this is the reason why we say Berachot HaShachar in the morning, not to be thieves. It's very important. We're going to start seeing that if this is the whole reason that we are blessing Hashem, in order to be able to use His properties, the blessings have to be said with the proper kavanah. How many times you have a person when he's driving in Miljon, he's saying Berachot HaShachar. When was the last time you did your accounting while you were driving? Doing your accounting while you were driving? Rabotai, we have to be able to put everything into perspective. We're going to continue with the Sefer Ve'elam U'Michshol. Today we have two important halachot in regards to Derech Eretz. Today is something else. He brings down over here, he says a lot of times, Baruch Hashem, you have Kohanim, that they go up and they do Duchan, right? They start blessing the Kahal. God bless them. Amen. However, Rabotai, you have to understand, I was one time in a certain shul, Mr. Isaac, I think you had about 15 Kohanim. You know what means 15 Kohanim? I had no space. 15 Kohanim. Yeah. Abu Lejon, but the problem was, you know when they take off their shoes, where do they take off their shoes? I'm asking you.
I have no idea.
In front of? In front of the person. In front of the Haichal. That's a very big problem. That's a very big problem, Rabotai. We're going to explain right now. Why? Rabotai, in your living room you don't have shoes. Somehow you have your shoes in the entrance to the house. But the point being was when I was, you know, when you're doing Birkat Kohanim, you have to put your eyes down, correct? So imagine looking all the shoes, right? They put it right in front of the Aron Kodesh, like right in front of in front of the Bimah. That's a very big problem. He says over here, when a Kohen takes off his shoes, he has to make sure he doesn't cause discomfort to other people by allowing the shoes to be revealed. So what should he do? Where's he going to put it? Either put it under the chair where he's sitting or in a place where people are not going to see it. But don't leave it out in the open. He says over here why? Because he says that this is not kavod tzibur. It's not the honor for a congregation. In your own house, Rabotai, you walk in, you don't leave you don't have shoes in the living room or in your dining room. Everything, it has to be, there's a section for shoes. Same thing with here. It is not respectful to be able to go out and place the shoes right in the middle of the Beit Knesset. Put it under a chair where people can't see it. The next halakha, Rabotai, also in Derech Eretz, he brings down a lot of times you have a person, when he goes to a chuppah, Brit Milah, or in the Beis Medrash, they're trying to get books. People don't take into consideration, when you step up on the chair, not everybody takes off their shoes. You have to go up, fine, go up. Either take off your shoes, go up, so the chair doesn't become dirty, or put a napkin, or clean up after yourself. You have to be mindful of other people that are going to come now and sit there later. But he says, a lot of times when we go up on the chairs, what happens, Yitzchak? We can break them. We're damaging the chairs, and we don't know. However, Rabotai, he says over here, you fall under the prohibition of stealing from the shul now. If you went up on the chair and you caused some form of damage and you didn't pay, you just stole from the shul. There, Rabotai, it is derech eretz for people to understand. They know. In a chuppah, I understand you want to see the chatan and the kala. I understand. You have people that go up on top of each other. Fine. But Rabotai, make sure it does not come at the expense of the hall or the synagogue or anybody else. Baruch Adonai L'olam. Amen. Amen. Rabbi Charan Berikash Omer